Okay, hello and welcome to a Java tutorial. This is my first Java tutorial and hopefully it'll be both entertaining and educating. So, well, here's some background. I'm taking a Java programming course right now, and as I'm learning Java, I'm going to be sharing what I learned with you guys. And so I'm not like some expert Java programmer or anything like that. I've just started learning Java, and so I just thought I'd make these videos to be a short little tutorial introduction to Java for you and to teach you the basics of Java. So I will be using a program called Eclipse. I like Eclipse, so I'm just going to open it up. Seems to work pretty well. There's other programs. Eclipse is my personal favorite. It's the one we use in my class too, so perfect. Just going to set your workspace. Sounds good. Wait for it to load. Okay, so that's a thing I already was doing, as you can see. So, what we're going to do is we're going to open up Eclipse. I'm going to do this again. Okay. And I'm going to show you how to make a new program, not really, well, I guess it's technically a program, but like a new document kind of thing. So just going to go File, New, Java Project, project name, Java tutorial 1. Use default location. Yep. Just leave the defaults as they are. Finish. Then I'm going to go to my Java tutorial 2 here, and I'm going to make file, new, class. I'm just going to call it Java Tutorial 1, yeah, whatever. Name, Java Tutorial 1 Math. It's not a valid identifier. Java Tutorial 1 Math. Can't have spaces, that's why. Just leave your superclass the way it is, and might as well check this. It makes your job easier. Finish. And it will make a new class for you. And so now we start programming. And so what we're going to do is I'm just going to make, right here, I'm just going to type my code right here. So first I'm going to show you how to do like printing stuff out, not like to a printer, but like onto the screen. So I'll just show you what it does, and then I'll explain it. And so this is the classic version. I'm going to run this. It's going to give me a program error, and I'll tell you why. Okay, so we have to use a semicolon at the end of this statement in order to tell it that it is ended. So let's run it now, and I'll show you what it's actually supposed to do. And so it'll just say hello world there. Perfect, right? Maybe. So now we're going to, and by the way, that's just how you print that. So whatever's inside the quotes is printed. Now we're going to do, like, say, defining variables. So you could say something like, let's say it's an integer, and then we're going to say age equals 33. And so then that'll give us a basic kind of integer. Then if we go system out print ln, and by the way, you don't need the ln. The ln tells it to go to the next line, so if you don't do ln, then everything will appear on the same line until you do an ln. So if you want, I can do an example of that later. And we're not going to put that in quotes. Of course, we are going to end it properly. And right, I need those endings there. Okay, so now we're going to run it again. Hello world 33, and it's 33 because we have ln. But say we want it, well, what is 33? Well, how about, let's just say, John's age is space. That way it doesn't have any kind of weird things. And then we're going to print what his age is. John's age is 33. Perfect. And we have that space there because if we don't have that space, it just looks funny. It's just for aesthetic purposes. See, it looks like it's part of is. So we're just going to put that space there. By the way, to save, it's Control-S or Command-S depending on whether you're on a Mac or PC, but this is the best Mac tutorial, so hopefully you're using a Mac, because Macs are better. So, Command S. So that's how we would write something like saying what John's age is. And then we could say, let's see, age equals plus 3. So that's now changing age to be 36 after this point. So if we go system out println in 3 years, John will be space and then plus age. And then of course I'm always forgetting my ending semicolons, so we're going to run that. But we have a problem here. It says in 3 years John will be 3. So we need to do the plus before the equals, because if we do equals plus, it's not the same. Plus equals is 3 plus itself. So if you define age as being variable a, it's instead of saying a equals 3, it's a equals a plus 3. And that's where we get in 3 years John will be 36. Now, what if we want to do, and this was the last thing we learned, mathematical operations. I'm just going to do a simple one, division. So if we have system.out.println, and I'm just going to do 10 divided by 3. And everyone knows, hopefully, that that's 3 1/3 or 3.3 with the 3 after the decimal point recurring. But actually, put an equal sign in there. The way Java is seeing this, these are integers, so it's going to give you an integer answer. It's going to just truncate that decimal. Watch. Oop. Right. I told you I keep forgetting those. Okay. See what it did? It put 3. Not 3 1/3, but 3. So say we have something with a decimal, which will tell it to use decimal. So say 10.5 divided by 3 equals then 10.5 plus 10.5 divided by 3. I'm always forgetting my ending, so I put it there now. Run. See? 3.5. And if you just want to double check that, 10.5 divided by 3 equals 3.5. I didn't actually have to do that on the calculator, but I was just trying to prove that to you. System.out.println. Now, say we want to do, find out just what the remainder is when you divide. Well, we would do 10, and then the percent sign, 3, equals, end quotes, plus 10% 3. But you see, most people, and I'm going to add my ending, most people, if they were reading this, the average person who's just trying to look at your program and use it as an end user, not a programmer, would look at this and say, well, why is there a percent sign there? That doesn't make any sense. So in here you'd say the remainder of dividing 10, or we could 10 by 3. Actually, proper English would tell you to spell those out. 10 by 3 equals. And then let's run that. And there you go. You have a perfect, sensical, human-readable output here. And so, also you might want to make a comment here, like 10 divided by 3 with a decimal / fraction truncated is equal to whatever. And so that's basically what we learned today. One other thing is comments. Comments are very important. They can tell you, like, say, I want to tell myself that, say I'm confused by this step because for some reason I'm wondering why it doesn't print why age here is printed as different from age here. Well, I'd put a comment with 2 slashes. I spelled that right. Anything after this previous line reflects the change we made to age. By the way, Java is a case-sensitive language. So system with capital S and system with a lowercase s is something different. See? So got to make sure you use proper capitalization. Another way to do like comments if you want to do a multi-line is to do a / / not 4 slashes as in 1, 2, 3, 4 slashes, / then an asterisk. This is a multi-line comment, just like that. And then when we run the program, as you can see, there's nothing in here that has anything to do with this. Only the people reading the code will see this. And so if you're not reading the code, if you're just the end user using the program, you will see nothing with these comments. So you won't look stupid to the end user by putting something in, such as, you know, some stupid comment that helps you remember, or like, say, if you're trying to remember to use print ln, you might make some reference to something that's totally unrelated, like kind of like, what would it be called? Mnemonic. mnemonic. A mnemonic. You could put comments in like that, and the end user will not see them, although anyone going through your code will, so if you're sharing this code with others, you might not want to put in stupid comments. So anyway, that is it for today. Remember when I checked that extra box that wasn't checked? That was the first box when we were setting up the class. That writes this for you, and also puts this end brace here. You can write that yourself, obviously, but it's, especially when you're starting out, nice to have the program do that for you. So that's about it. Also, there are several different types of ways to store numbers. There's an int, or an integer, a long, a double, a float. There's all kinds. And like, say for example, a float is bigger than an integer, or a double is bigger than an integer, or whatever. And so if it's a small number, or a number without decimals or whatever, you're going to want to store it as an integer. But if it's a bigger number that's over whatever, and you will want to store it as a long or a double or whatever. But you, as a programmer, one very important thing when programming is to save as much space as you can, because pretty soon that won't be as important, because storage will be just off the charts. You know, the average person's computer in, say, you know, a couple years will be 5 terabytes, and storage won't be a problem, and internet bandwidth will be so much faster in the next 5, 10, 15 years. But at the moment, you need to be careful to make your programs as concise as possible, and so you wouldn't use, say, a double to store a number like 33, because it's reserving a bigger amount of space to save that smaller number. So that concludes my Java tutorial for today, and I will hopefully be back tomorrow with another one. Thank you. Hello and welcome to another Java tutorial. This is my second Java tutorial. This is the Bismack Tutorials, by the way. This is my second Java tutorial, and I am going to show you, that's just a junk thing I made. I'm going to show you today how to write a program that will ask you to enter your age. You'll enter your age and it'll tell you whether you're old enough to drink or not. Okay? So I'm just going to go File, New, Java Project. I'm going to make my new Java project, Java Tutorial 2. Yep. And File, New Class. And Java to class. Actually, I might as well. Yeah. Okay, I'm not gonna have it write that for me this time. I'm going to do that myself. So finish. I'm gonna show you what I'm gonna do. So first of all, this is gonna use the scanner class because we're getting input. So we're gonna have to import the java.util.scanner class. We're gonna have to import that Java. So now we are going to let's see. I'm gonna bump this onto the next line because I'm weird like that. So I'm going to make a new. Let's see. So I'm gonna write that code that normally puts in for you. Public static void main string left bracket. Right bracket args, like that. Enter again. I'm gonna make another one of these. Actually, I'm going to make sure these are nice and lined up. So scanner in equals new scanner system.in, and so that's going to basically make we're making a scanner object in there. So now we're going to put our age as an integer here. Then we're going to go system.out.println. Remember, print would work, but len makes it go to the next line. So how old are you? And we're going to end that because I'm always forgetting those. Now we're going to go so that's asking how old you are, and then age, so we're referring to that previous integer there, age equals in.next int integer, and we're going to leave that blank. So it's going to now, if we just ran it to this point, you'd say how old are you, you'd enter, say whatever, 37, enter. And then the system now has age defined as 37. So, well, great, you say, but how do we work with that? So then we're going to say if, and then age is greater than 21, or I guess I could do equal to or greater than 21. So that way, if they're 21 or older, or you could do more than 20 because 21, whatever. So system.out.println, again, you can use print, but you are old enough to drink. Else system.out.println, and that means if that is false. So if this is true, it'll run this command. If this is false, it'll run this command. You are not old enough to drink. So we're just going to run those endings there. So we're going to run our program. It says an error exists. Right. I must end those. Also, I think, let's run it now. I think actually the equal sign, yeah, okay. There we go. Okay, so the equal sign has to go. I'm always getting those mixed up. The equal sign goes after the greater than symbol. So now it says, how old are you? Type in whatever. 30. You're old enough to drink. Let's try that again. How old are you? Let's say 2. You are not old enough to drink. Ta-da! And so now if you're wondering, what about if I put in 21? That's because of the equals, too. If I take out the equals and run it again and put 21, ta-da, which is false in most places. So I'm going to put that equal sign after that greater than sign. I'm going to run it again. It works. Just to make sure. 21. And you got to make sure you put first what you want it to be if that is true. You could also do stuff like, say, a Boolean operator. If it's either true or false, like, say, you wanted to know, like, if you are, say, over the age of 20, so it'll only ask, are you over the age of 20 or 21 or whatever. And so that for that you could use a Boolean, but generally an integer unless it's a really big number, in which case you could use like a long or a double or a float. You get the point. But that is my Java tutorial for today, a very simple one. As you see, you don't need to check that first checkbox I checked yesterday. You can write it in yourself. It just makes it easier if it does it for you, but I just showed you how to type it in yourself. It's not hard at all. I'm pretty sure you need these spaces here. Even if you... Okay, so you don't need those spaces there. It kind of helps with how it looks. I like it better with spaces, but you don't actually need those spaces there.